We're going to be checking in with Chris and with reporters and producers on the ground in Ferguson throughout the hour. I want to thank you at home for staying with us for the next hour. It is now just after midnight here on the East Coast. That means it's 11 p.m. In Ferguson, Missouri. And as you've been seeing in our coverage over the course of this evening, things in the last hour took a dramatic turn, took a turn for the tense. What started off as a generally peaceful protest night tonight in Ferguson, night 9 of this crisis in Ferguson, Missouri, it seemed to just sort of turn on a dime about exactly an hour ago as police in full riot gear started to try to disperse the crowd out on the street in Ferguson. Now, it's not clear if it was a change in behavior by the protesters that caused police to suddenly change their tactics an hour ago. It's possible it was just a unilateral decision by police that they were going to ratchet it up and try to clear people away, but it did happen very quickly. Protesters had been told all day today that they needed to keep moving to avoid arrest, which is, it's a strange interpretation of the right to assemble, right? That you can assemble, but only if you are walking at the same time, that you are not allowed to assemble in a stationary way, that you have to physically keep walking in an area in which you are being allowed to protest, only if you are and if you stop moving, then you will, that you will be arrested. What we're watching right now with that street sign and what we're seeing these projectiles come from the police side, this is all live right now in Ferguson, Missouri. We're not exactly clear on what these incendiaries are here, what's burning in the street. Open fires in the street. Open fires in the street are something that we have not seen very much of. Chris, from where you are right now, can you see what's happening?
Yeah, so we just see massive, what looks like fireworks explode, and now it looks like the tear gas is coming out.
Can you smell the tear gas from where you are?
Flash, it looks like flash grenades. There's a smoke rising up from right outside where the quick trip is. We see protesters hurling things that I can't tell what they are. They're popping in the sky. They look like fireworks. They could be flash grenades. We could be about to get tear gassed here, frankly. There's steam rising up. A very, very chaotic scene happening down near where the quick trip was. Just 30 seconds ago, a bunch of things popped off real quick, and there's another firework in the air right now. That looks like that's probably a flash grenade as well.
Chris, I can tell you that before the smoke went up so thickly, we saw a protester sort of brandishing a street sign. We see another street sign in the street right now, and it seems like whatever is on fire and giving off that smoke is rolling from 2 different directions at once. I can't tell what those items are.
So there's loud explosions happening behind us. There's smoke now rising up into the sky. Just now we have now entered what now seems the inevitable. Everyone's booking
down Canfield.
Everyone's booking down Canfield, and there's people are also lobbing. I'm not sure what the heck they're lobbing back.
What was that?
That was someone, I think, throwing a tear.
It looked like a.
No, I think that was someone throwing a tear gas canister back. People have taken to doing that. We've got the loud LRAD crowd noises. Complete chaos here as the crowd disperses in the midst of this smoke that's now billowing way up and rising up, and I can start to feel it. Start to feel a little bit on the eyes. I think that they have. I think they have deployed tear gas. People are booking away from it.
Let's take a look at this guy here.
Seeing people running from it and coughing, and you could start to feel it in the air, frankly, as it comes towards us. Right now. We're gonna.
Chris and Craig, from your vantage point, is it clear to you?
Come around.
What do police want protesters to do?
Well, they want them to move. Like I said, every night they've been sort of creating lines in the sand, and then the confrontation happens all around that line generally. So tonight, the line in the sand was, you have to move. If you hear that? That is what they want them to do. They're saying if you're standing,
you have to keep moving.
Well,
and the flash bombs continue.
We got flash grenades going now, and there's tear gas, and people have now scattered in. Oh yes, that's the very familiar now smell of tear gas wafting through the air.
Chris, one of the things that
Lots
you
of
were
folks
talking
running
about
down the
earlier
sidewalk.
is the importance that there aren't any personal vehicles, there aren't any private vehicles in this area. We're seeing cars that do look like some private vehicles here. Are those
Yes, there
actually
are
police
some.
vehicles,
So
or what's happening there?
No, well, it's unclear. I mean, basically, I think there were sort of allowances made. Obviously, you can't just completely block off this area to all vehicle traffic because there are people that live here and work here and have to get in here. And so, yeah, you can feel that tear gas in the air. It's starting to sort of waft towards us. You get that familiar sting in the eyes. That is definite. That is not apparently tear gas. That is definitely tear gas.
That's tear gas.
I can tell you. I can tell you damn well. And man, does that frickin' sting.
Do you guys need to get out of the position that you're in and get to fresh air?
Yeah, actually.
Let's take a break.
Yeah, or if we got a mask for me here. Can we got a mask? Hold on one second. We're trying to get a mask so we can stay out here.
Okay, what's going on right now for those of you guys watching at home? This is live right now. This is Craig Melvin and Chris Hayes, who are on the scene on West Florissant. And we've been watching these two sort of pincer move police actions on two different sides of this street with two different groups of protesters. There does not seem to be one massed group of protesters. They seem to be broken up into smaller groups, and the confrontations with police have been on again, off again. And just within the last couple of minutes, just since we've been on the air in the last 5 minutes, police tonight, for the first time at least that we can tell, seem to have deployed tear gas, and Craig and Chris are both being affected by that. We're trying to figure out exactly what's happening in terms of arrests, exactly what's happening in terms of and threats of violence. You can see Captain Ron Johnson from the Missouri Highway Patrol there, who's the man in charge of policing there. And at this point, we're trying to figure out also what's happening in terms of both police tactics and strategy. You can see some of their tactics here in terms of their SWAT gear and their riot gear. You see police aiming weapons of some kind in the direction of police. The thing that's mounted on the top of the car there is an LRAD, as far as we can tell, at least, a long-range acoustic device. These are sort of sound cannons that the police have used to try to disperse people. The idea of a sound cannon is that they cause you pain and make you leave an area. That's a weapon of war that's been used on a few times domestically in the U.S. It's been used a lot in Ferguson, including tonight. Joining us right now on the phone is MSNBC.com reporter Erin Delmore. Erin, what can you tell us about your position and what you can see from there?
Rachel, I've been standing guard at West Florissant and Ferguson Avenue. It's the intersection where police have been lined up in a defensive position 3 to 5 deep for at least an hour now. There is a calmer scene now than there was an hour ago when tensions flared, but Rachel, there are police vehicles coming down West Florissant right now. This is new tonight. We've seen 2 emergency vehicles come down West Florissant. Now I've seen about 8. I'm looking ahead toward Chris's position. Tear gas canisters, I can smell it. I can feel it coming in my nose. People are running at me in the opposite direction with their shirts over their face. Police have gas masks on, and they're in a defensive position still at the intersection.
Erin, when you say that you're seeing emergency vehicles, do you mean that you're seeing police cruisers or some of these tactical vehicles? Or are you seeing ambulances? What are you seeing?
Tactical vehicles. They're not ambulances. They're not fire, Rachel. They're tactical vehicles. And the drivers have helmets. They have shields. The police who are on the forefront have their shields. They have batons, face masks, and their gas masks are on.
Erin, is it clear to you from your position and from what you are hearing police say to protesters, is it clear to you what they want protesters to do? And can protesters do what police are directing them to do?
Rachel, almost every protester has cleared out. I cannot explain to you the difference between what I've seen on the street starting at 8 p.m. local time. I'm feeling the tear gas now, Rachel.
Okay.
It stings, but I can tell you that protesters have mostly cleared out. And when the hostile environment began to turn, local residents were linking arms, pushing the violent protesters back in the opposite direction. The community wants these protesters to go home. I have to tell you, it's an isolated number of individuals here who are surging forward, and the police are reacting. They're keeping their defensive position. Occasionally they run up, push back. I've seen, this is now a 4th arrest I'm looking at right now.
You've witnessed 4 arrests.
Rachel, I would have to count that number, but I know I have seen 3 tonight.
Okay, Erin, I'm going to give you
closer to this one.
Okay, Erin, I'm going to keep reporting as much as you can. I'm going to give you a chance to try to get to some fresh air if you can, to try to take care of yourself. MSNBC.com, Erin Delmore. Stay with us, but stay safe.